I know there were times before this, but I can distinctly remember my eighth grade graduation. Um, as I told in my one-man play, Kiss by Life, Life and Times of the Intelligent Hoodlum, I talked about my adversarial relationship with teachers and growing up at an early age. Like I went through about 4 or 5 different grade schools. I finally wound up at Manier Elementary, which was the neighborhood school. And it was a trip because they really allowed me to be authentically myself. It's almost like they understood differentiated learning and teaching at that time. They let me be me all the way up until I became class president of the eighth grade. It was amazing. They listened to my ideas, they harnessed that energy and made it into something special. And on the day of the eighth grade graduation, when I think about early leadership opportunities, on the day of the eighth grade graduation, obviously, as the class president, I was sitting on stage and we had this song. I never forget it was by Jeffrey Osborne, I want to say. We're going all the way. We're just beginning. And I know they do. And I was excited. We had practiced and we had practiced, and there was another gentleman that was lined up to sing, and then the rest of the class would stand up. We're going all the way, so forth and so on. And in that moment, guys, if you could imagine, in that moment, it was one of the largest moments of my time. I had completed eighth grade. I was right there on the cusp. My mom was sitting down front. She was at this graduation. I completed eighth grade. And the gentleman that was singing the song, the auditorium was jam packed. And when it came time for the chorus, the gentleman that was singing the song, he just started pausing and he was hemming and hawing. And so I was already standing up and I knew the song backwards and forwards. I love this song. And I knew that it was our opportunity as a graduating class to really finish. It was the finale of it all. And and he was hemming and hawing. Just to be perfectly honest, he was hemming and hawing. And before I knew it, I looked out there in that crowd and I grabbed that microphone and I started singing the words. And that crowd came to a stand and I grabbed this gentleman around I kind of bear hugged him and he began to sing and we sang that song together. And I look at that as one of the first opportunities to lead because there was a couple of things, right? Unknowingly, I took a risk. I took the initiative. Um, I was void of what people would think because I knew my intentions were well. And I knew that in no way was I trying to grandstand or overshine. I wanted to make sure that that brother saw that thing all the way through. And I felt like with that little nudge, we were able to see it all the way through. And the class, we sang that song in harmony. The audience went wild. All our parents were crying. It was one of the first times that I can remember, and I never looked back after that. It was one of the first times I can remember where I really took the initiative and took a risk. Um, Stepped up in the time of someone else's need, still made it about them and made it about what we were doing as a whole. But I felt like it was important in that space, unknowingly, to do that. And so when you think about it, that's that was one of the first times I really felt myself being a leader. All right. Peace.